We are delighted today to have two executive guest speakers with us, Ibu Dina, interior designer and owner of Prana Living Shop in Indonesia, as well as May K, an architect by profession and Reiki Master. Let's shine the spotlight on these two ladies. Thank you for being here with us today, Ibu Dina and May. Hi. Yeah. Can you tell us more about yourselves? Talk a bit about your current role and why did you choose interior design as a career?
I'm trained as an architect and I've been practicing for more than 10 years. 2019 I was introduced to Reiki. Reiki is started also rediscovered actually in Japan in the 1930s. A practice where we could increase our self-awareness. This energy is universal around us. It's abundance like the sunshine. It's a set of systems that helps us restore ourselves, and by taking time off, being still, and just use this energy to help us heal and restore our well-being.
Well, indeed, having good design plays an important role in restoring your health and happiness. Home is where we spend most of our time, so it really makes sense that our surroundings should be reflective of our desired state of being. So as an interior designer, you will need to be highly creative, and having a point of view is definitely an asset. You will be expected to design spaces for all sorts of clients. So Ibu Dina and me, what are some of the important considerations when designing a living space to support people's needs for wellness in the home?
When designing, I work with my own instinct, and then rather than following the face-to-face project, I need to do the R&D first, research and development. Usually take about 3 weeks because I need to know more the characters of the space and what they are going to do with the space and what they need and motivations. From there, then we do the whole concept. The most important thing is to do the layout. Around 60% of the design is the layout, the value of the design. After that, all those things to make the design complete. We have a 7 basic of design, right? The harmony, the unity, 7 things and cover it all. I have to implement the client's needs and dream properly.
Similar to Ibu Dina, I do some intuitive thinking for design. In addition to rational design thinking, one question that I would ask my clients is to identify something, anything, an object, a toy, a memory, something, maybe even a photo, anything that maybe even like triggers a smell that they like. So identify one object that brings delight to them or give them the sense of well-being, and I will incorporate this into the space for them, which I believe would help in creating this space for their own well-being. So that's important as a design element that's how I approach space.
Now, May says that Reiki heightens sensitivity in creating spaces for well-being. Okay, Reiki is actually a Japanese healing technique that uses energy to promote relaxation and stress relief. What makes a well-designed space that heals?
We have a sense of senses, which is 5 senses. Which is related to each other. Right? So from the smell, and then from the space that you can move. Color is very strong in psychology. It can make you stress one color, but the color is very strong. We are in a good mood or in a good health, it doesn't affect when our immune system drop, and it can affect us more to be sick. Yeah. So be careful with color, but color is very important. And then the texture. The texture is whether you see it in your eyes or you can feel it in your hands. And macro and the micro, so it has to be balanced. To me, the most important, even the space is just empty space, but in a subtle color to boost your mood, your energy, or your emotion. Going home from work is so tiring, and just sit quietly there, lay back. But we need something that this is a zesty color. So just put one pillow with an orange pillow, because orange is a very vibrant color. You know, it's like when you are in the daytime under the sun, and suddenly somebody give you orange juice. So
Changes everything.
it changes everything. Yeah. So that
Yeah.
one. So details is important to affect your psychology.
And me, how does Reiki promote relaxation and stress relief, and what makes a well-designed space that heals?
For me, I also agree with Ibu Dina on the five senses, like that makes the space healing for the individual. I would like to add another point is that probably the sixth sense, right?
Yeah.
Which I think is how each individual will react in an environment. So there is energy in the environment that is subliminal to how we respond to this. Is something that we can't see. Sometimes we can't even feel, but we know it's there. It's like a Wi-Fi. We can't see it. There are gadgets now to detect it. But it's something that we can't see doesn't mean that it's not there. Just like good vibes, we can't see but we know it's there. As a Reiki practitioner, what we sometimes do is we could harmonize ourselves with the energy, or we can also harmonize the space through the practice of Reiki. That's something that as a designer and as a Reiki practitioner myself, I would do as part of the process in my design.
Thank you. So in terms of exploring the relationship between Reiki, which is restoring your health and happiness, and conceptualization, which is very visual in interior design, at which intersection do you think wellness, energy, and design meet?
I definitely think the environment affects how our body and mind experience that space that we're in. The energy that is in the space is that something that we can channel as to help us achieve the relaxation and boost our well-being in a sense.
Your home is a reflection of who you are and speaks of your personal style. The more time, effort, and care you put into it, the better organized life will be for you, so that you can be more productive each day and perform at your optimal level.
So if the environment affects our mind and body and eventually our well-being, then thoughtful design and intuitive design actually helps to bring in all the elements that helped in making the space, creating good vibes in the space, and hence it
So it is interesting to note that Indonesia is abundant in natural resources, okay, which these natural resources have given birth to a design style that are uniquely representative of Indonesia. You will find these decoration items in homes, apartments, hotels, and commercial spaces, thus making Indonesia one of the most popular sources for home decor and furniture around the world. So if you're looking for new decoration ideas, let's turn to our interior designers here to tell us what are the essential decor objects that you should definitely invest this 2023.
From Indonesia, we have lots of kinds of woods, and sometimes the woods itself have its own aroma, can affect our psychology, our mind, our mood. Yeah, it's really helpful when you have imbalanced emotion. And I think you might invest in solid wood. Life means energy, right? So, and we need that in our house. Rather than all the furniture is a man-made from the plywood and the laminating. It is very clean and neat, but it hasn't got the life, the energy. So I would love to have one small tray, but it's solid wood or solid bamboo, solid rattan, because they are all come from nature and they all have life. It's the same as forecast for 2023. I think it's the same with the 2 years period. We're still in the pandemic. We still need to be healed. So that's why. So it's good to have something that you can smell and life. For the past 10 years, I developed fabrics with artisans and embroidery and those kind of products. We have the fabrics which is hand woven using the wood. They call it akar wangi. It has a smell, and sometimes they put cinnamon sticks as well while they are woven it.
Okay.
And use all the natural fiber. So many things you can develop in Indonesia. Not always expensive. They just need us, the creator.
Okay, so like on the show floor, there are, for example, rattan is a very natural material which gives furniture an organic and earthy feel. It also lends itself to beautiful designs. So Indonesians are experts at creating intricate patterns and unique shapes with rattan. So this is one example of the rattan basket that they have created using the Indonesian technique of hand weaving. Yeah. Okay, so while there are many directions in which interior design could go, popular trends will stay and linger for a while. Homeowners and interior designs can still take some inspiration from these ideas and apply them to homes so that they can continue to create a living environment that truly reflects their client's personality. So Ibu Dina and May, share with us what are some of the popular trends you see taking over interiors in the last 2 to 3 years.
I think introducing greenery into the space is definitely one of the trends, and it will still continue. Greeneries in terms of edible ones and decorative ones. Popular design trends would be bringing the black and white interior into apartments because it's associated with fresco living. The other trend that currently is coming, I think is important, and seeing it popping up everywhere in workplaces such as wellness pods. I personally would recommend a snooze pod for every office for powering naps.
So at the NetAsia's booth today, we explore some Indonesian designs and view the workmanship excellence from Bali as well as Central Java. To give you a bit of overview, Bali style incorporates the outdoors like no other interior decorating style. And it's grounded in nature and unlike Scandinavian, British or even French nature, Bali is a place of wild greenery, tropical foliage and rich floral. This vibrancy is balanced with the cunning yet elegant impact of pieces crafted also from nature. So we see a lot of wood elements, bamboos, and very earthy ceramics. So any ideas for decorating or personalizing your space to make it more welcoming without breaking the bank?
So actually, I'm just browsing around my clutters at home. I love plants. I can plant it because I don't know with my hands. But we should have a base of live plants. Anything from the nature, it always has its own smell. It's so lovely. Yeah. The clutters is everywhere. Nobody in the world never had clutter. Nobody, especially for women. Yeah, because we are the best shopper in the world. And then, for instance, I have leftover fabrics. Okay, then I just make a card. And for instance, maybe that's batik. Yeah. The leaves, just cut it and then sew it on another on top of the leftover fabrics, which is I found it more thicker. And then make on the edge and find a frame of old frame, take it off and then put that when give something new. Yeah. No need to buy in the shop, or maybe just a stone, wash it, clean it, and just put decorative things. Anything you can do. No need to buy. This is one of the steps for sustainability, which is very realistic.
So it's about recycling and upcycling of materials. So you're putting all the materials to good use without disposing them. Okay, so May, how about you? Any ideas for decorating or personalizing your space and make it more welcoming?
Definitely, whatever brings delight to your five senses. I think the very first one will be visual. So maybe a new coat of paint is very easy to a space that you would like to refurbish. Possibly also can look at artwork. Your own artwork you can draw, or buy from anywhere, or support an artist. That will also just enliven the space very quickly. You could change it quite often as well. Artwork you can also look at like crafts, maybe a piece of rock. These days there are very beautiful rugs or handmade cloth, or maybe a piece of batik, even like the patterns are beautiful. And then just hang it on the wall. It's like another piece of artwork ready. Anything off the shelf that just follow your heart, right? What captures your attention and you like it, and just bring it home, find a space for it, and that is something really, really simple. It's an instant gratification. So that's visual. We can also bring in like lighting, something very simple that adds to the space, or an aroma that you like, right? And it doesn't have to be, just like little items like that brings like a little joy into your space. The other one that I could think of as a Reiki practitioner is that to find a spot that is comfortable and safe. Use your sixth sense, actually. We all have it. To find this little corner, cozy, that you feel safe for, say, half an hour. Take the time. The time is another space that we need to create for ourselves, for our well-being as well. That doesn't break the bank. The only thing that you might need to shop would be a cushion maybe on the rug that you can then practice in invitation or if you like me,
Well, with a wide range of home and decoration items to look forward to, we are definitely spot for choice. Okay, so now we know that Indonesia is best known for its craftsmanship. Okay, furniture from this country is always very well made and steady. Especially in central Java, NetAsia works with small producers in the developing regions to enter lucrative green markets. So this is to provide trade support that could help small farmers and businesses in developing regions to earn an income, and also on the other hand comply with the sustainability efforts and standards required to assess the growing market. The team works around the concept of sustainability using wood, bamboo, roots, trees, and corn husks to create home decor items that speak to our aesthetic sensibilities. So how do you help your client achieve their goal of creating a safe area while incorporating sustainability into the design?
When we put together a space in the theme of nature or sustainability, we could also look at, of course, we have to be mindful about the safety of assembling these things in the space, right? So whether it's suitable and whether it's secure and whether the space itself is well ventilated and whether these items are giving off POCs. So I think as a designer, when we specify or select items, just be mindful of the source, the materials that is being put together, how it's assembled, and also the transportation of it. How far it is, if you can get the item locally, it's a little bit challenging for some because we import almost everything, actually everything. But this is probably another criteria to look into if you are very concerned with sustainability. My personal note is that if you don't need it, only consume what you need, no more and no less. So that's how I define sustainability.
So, right, perhaps like what Ibu Dina said earlier, and also May, they shared about healing through design. So many times we have experienced challenging times. From here, it's we understand from our guest speakers what inspired them and what fueled their passion for interior design. They work to design spaces that support healthy sleep habits and also consider designing a home environment that provides plenty of opportunities for you to move around and engage in your favorite exercises. So there are many ways that design can be a powerful tool for creating positive change. Let's find out more about their career goals and challenges and how all these have led them to where they are today, making interior design an impact. Well, it is easy to get bogged down in the negative, especially when things are not working within our favor. But if you would see positivity as an opportunity or moment of action, then there will always be opportunity that comes along your way. Like Ibu Dina, her interior design firm was a big hit during the pandemic in terms of business operation and profitability. Businesses faced disruptions, forcing companies to rethink, re-strategize, and also to retool to embrace new changes. But instead of dwelling on the negative, she saw the opportunity to change her business model and more focused on online sales. This had allowed her to stay afloat during a time where many businesses were struggling. So Mrs. Dina's story is one great example of how changing your mindset can help you turn a difficult situation around. So Ibu Dina, in moments of crisis, what gave you the inspiration to switch from interior design to textile and later fashion?
During the pandemic, all of us stay home. No no work from home. Okay. And we busy with our life. We rarely see our house. Everything we can see it in bare eyes, right? You cannot go outside. Then you decorate your own home with more colors, more alive, and makes you happier. Well, actually, the home decor, we've done it before the pandemic, but during that time, I changed the design. Since we have, luckily we have an artisan, the embroidery artisan from Java, from west of Java, and so we do everything for the runners, all the soft furnishing with embroidery. After that, I saw the opportunity with the fashion. Everybody is doing work from home with Zoom. The best thing if we do Zoom, we don't even have to mandi, to take a bath. It's okay, the meeting is 7 or 6 in the morning because we are Zooming at different time with the other country. Then I have this idea, why don't I make a long shawl or a square scarf for the hijabs, and then with embroidery. And thank God, it works, yeah. And that is, and because we don't sell it expensive, so that is the first start, and then we continue until now. Seriously in fashion, so in dresses and everything about fashion.
Whereas for May, how did you manage your expectations during the pandemic and maintain that good energy level so that your life is in balance?
I was actually very grateful for this global slowdown in work. Actually, yes. So I guess I'm grateful. Yeah, and then that gives me the time. That's another space, right? Time is the space to rejuvenate, to take time off more regular exercise, cooking even, and read. And these are all very nourishing to our soul. And of course, then if I have time, then meditation. I do a more regular meditation and also Reiki as well, which I do that almost every night. It's very easy, just rest my hands on my body and I go to sleep. Do that. So it's self-restoration in a way. I think these practices are just slowing time down. Giving us ourselves the space, right, to restore, to rejuvenate, and re-energize ourselves. So I was very glad that we had this time too.
So come to think about it again, sometimes it's good to slow down a little bit so that you can rethink about life. So for Ibu Dina, she went into fashion, she went into decorations, and also coming up with all sorts of design for interior and decorations. For May, she found the health and well-being by practicing Reiki. And sometimes it's all about self-care. Yeah, you need to care for yourself, love yourself, so that you can move on to the next level of higher thinking. All the items that you see over here on the show floor, everything carries a meaning. Ibu Dina, tell us what's the inspiration behind your collection and what each of these pattern and motif means.
Actually, I love Indonesian treasure. I realized that when I just got back from the States. I studied there for my interior. While I was there, I took a 3 months course. It's textile design printing. And one of the session is batik. I learned batik in America. And when we come back to Indonesia, After 3 months in Jakarta, I take a course in Solo for 2 weeks batik. So from there, I learned more about the batik pattern, batik ornaments, which is everything has its own meaning. So the whole actually is not batik only, but the whole ornaments in Indonesia we have something like that. So each of the ethnicity has its own ornaments, has its own design pattern and meaning. So I start learning it, and since I'm so grateful because my older sister, she's an anthropologist, and she has all those literacy with the traditional. Yeah, I learned from there, and that's all the ornaments that we apply it in our embroidery design. So everything, and we do a collection. Like for instance, when we start that's pandemic, right, 2020, we start our first collection. It's from it's batik hokokai. Batik hokokai is a batik pattern that is in the middle of west and center of Java. The place is Pekalongan, so it's between Cirebon, Pekalongan, and Semarang, and it's very influenced by Chinese, and so they call it batik hokokai. It's a butterfly things. It's very beautiful. So I apply it to my collection, and we call it hokokai collection. And the next one is Toraja. The Toraja as well. I have to choose. I have to study first each ornament that I can easily apply in everything, everywhere. Because some of the pattern only used on the door, or maybe just under the top of your headband, something like that. Because they have their own meaning. You need to be collaborate. So many ornaments that we develop. But we do have to do research and development first for the meaning. Yeah.
So, if you had the opportunity to redesign any space, where would it be and why?
I would love to redesign an embassy. The reason being is I believe that the embassy actually represents the local culture or heritage, and being part of the design team, it's likely that we will collaborate with the local designer, and through that process, I hope to learn about the culture and heritage of the other country. So I'm interested in that and
So, Ibu Dina?
There's one space in Batam that actually is a very old place, and they said they're going to tear it down. It's at a community center. I would love to have the opportunity to redesign the art space, because Batam needs space for us. Otherwise, it's so boring. It's very developed, but at the same time, it's no character, because arts is an identity, but character identity for us.
Had you not been an interior designer, what would you have been?
I would be a window dresser or a graphic designer. So still something visuals and about aesthetics really.
So May is a very visual person. Maybe, visual merchandising suits her as well. So how about you, Ibu Dina? Why, if you had the opportunity, had you not been an interior designer, what would you have been?
A chef.
A chef. Tell us about it.
Yes, I love to cook. Actually, I love to cook. The right word is I love to experiment. in the kitchen.
Okay. So from here we can see that Ibu Dina, she experimented with batik and also prints using colors, and you can see that the prints on canvas as well, and this huge cloth behind me, you can see the echo prints. So these are a few examples of how she experimented with colors, laces, materials during COVID-19. Whereas for May, she loved anything that has got to do with visuals, because visual is something that you see and you experience, and that also elevates meaning in the things that you create. Okay, let's sum up what we have learned from this industry talk today. Designing for wellness is an important trend in interior design. When you hire an interior designer, you are not just hiring someone to make your space look pretty. You are hiring someone who can help to create environments that promote relaxation, peace, and well-being for their clients. So in this industry talk, we spoke about making interior design an impact in the world, creating functional spaces that meet the needs of all people, improving mental health and wellness through design, and also reducing our environmental footprint. So if you're looking to create a home that promotes balance and harmony, it's more important than ever to make time for self-care. So thank you very much, everyone, for being here with us today. We hope you enjoyed today's industry talk. The industry talk is organized by NetAsia and strongly supported by Bank of Indonesia. Design Asia 2022. It's co-located with the Architecture and Building Services, organized by the Conference and Exhibition Management Services, a key player in the meeting, incentive, convention, and exhibition industry in Singapore.